Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine waking up and finding that, well, your most private thoughts, your deepest anxieties, maybe even your dreams,
Mm.
they aren't just observed, but actually used against you.
Yeah.
Today, we're plunging into a world that feels unsettlingly close to our own, where technology isn't just watching your every move, but it's invading the very sanctuary of your mind.
Mm-hmm.
Our sources for this deep dive come from some really fascinating excerpts of a novel, The Dream Hotel, by Leila Lalami, set in 2025. And this is just fiction. It's like a chilling mirror reflecting our own anxieties about data, privacy, and the sort of creeping reach of algorithms.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is how the narrative really dissects this whole pre-crime concept. It's
Yeah.
not just presented as, a societal control thing. It's an intensely personal violation.
Yeah.
Our mission today is to understand how one woman, Sarah Hussein, navigates this invasive future and what her journey tells us about the true, often hidden cost of safety when, well, human experience itself is just reduced to data points. Prepare for some genuinely surprising facts and some powerful aha moments that might make you look differently at your own digital footprint.
So Sarah, she's a 38-year-old historian, and she finds herself right at the heart of this complex system, living a reality where her subconscious is basically weaponized.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener, as you grapple with your own digital life? Let's jump in and explore this unsettling landscape.
Okay, so to really grasp Sarah's predicament, we first need to understand the society that shaped it. Our sources reveal that this pretty sophisticated surveillance system, particularly the Risk Assessment Administration, or RAA, it was born out of a really traumatic national event, what became known as the Super Bowl massacre.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I mean, this horrific incident saw 86 people shot dead on live television during a Super Bowl broadcast and another 32 off camera, all witnessed by an astonishing 113 million Americans.
Gosh, the public outcry must have been immediate,
Yeah.
immense, just demanding never again.
Exactly.
And this collective trauma led directly to the Crime Prevention Act, the CPA.
Right.
This wasn't just like a simple legislative tweak. It fundamentally reshaped the relationship between the state and its citizens.
It really did.
The CPA gave authorities unprecedented access to private records, commercial data analytics, which in turn birthed the RAA.
Mm-hmm.
Their stated mission was clear: keep American communities safe, identify and detain individuals likely to commit violent crimes.
That likely is doing a lot of work there.
It really is.
Yeah.
And for 2 decades, they claimed significant success, citing a remarkable 42.6% decrease in gun deaths and a 48% drop in suicides.
Yeah.
Pretty compelling numbers, if you're just looking at statistics alone. It suggests a clear trade-off, right? Privacy for public safety.
Indeed, those numbers, they paint a powerful picture for the public. However, even with its reported successes, the RAA wasn't infallible, and the novel really highlights the chilling human cost of these, quote, early failures.
Right, like,
Well, the sources mention a stage actress, Lana Delgado, mistakenly referred to a commitment clinic while she was actually battling multiple sclerosis.
oh,
Or a 5-year-old boy, Milo Coleman, whose parents got a notification that he was flagged as a risk and needed to be brought to a public safety center.
a 5-year-old.
A 5-year-old. What's insidious here isn't just the error, but the psychological impact. I mean, imagine getting a notification that your child, just 5 years old, is considered a threat.
That's terrifying.
It raises this really important question. At what point does a system designed for safety become a threat in itself? Eroding trust, creating this climate of fear.
And it sounds like this isn't a universally accepted system, even in the novel's present day.
Not at all.
There's an ongoing, fierce debate in the Senate over the CPA's reach, specifically about private detention contractors issuing extensions without government approval.
Mm-hmm. And also the types of private data the RA can legally use.
Okay. And what's complex is that this debate doesn't fall neatly along party lines.
No, it's really interesting.
You have Senator Adriana Jimenez, a Democrat, partnering with Republican Senator Jamie Hutchinson to denounce the CPA's overreach. They're arguing it compromises foundational liberties, creates a surveillance state.
Right. But then you have others like Democrat Senator Cora Jenkins and Republican Senator Vicente Torres staunchly defending its necessity. They're citing that undeniable drop in violent crime as paramount.
It's a real ethical tightrope, isn't it? It shows how that fear of crime can override traditional political divides, forcing society to weigh security against individual freedoms in these really profound ways.
Absolutely.
But the real turning point in Sarah's ordeal, it begins not with some grand conspiracy, but a mundane travel delay.
Yeah, it often starts simply, doesn't it?
Returning from a conference in London, she's pulled into secondary inspection at LAX. An RAA officer named Segura tells her an algorithm flagged her as an imminent risk.
Just like that.
Just like that. And this is where her personal experience with predictive justice really kicks off.
And this initial flag, it escalates quickly. Segura starts this relentless interrogation, digging into Sarah's social media platforms like Nade and Printastic, questioning her employer. Even bringing up her cousin, Zach Miller, who, and Sarah didn't even know this, has an arrest record.
Wow.
But the most astounding, the most chilling revelation comes when Segura drops the bombshell. Her sleep data and her dreams are being used as evidence.
Her dreams? Seriously?
Seriously, he states some entries showed a high risk of violence. Sarah is, well, understandably horrified.
I would be too.
Because her DreamSaver consent forms said absolutely nothing about selling dream data.
Right.
This isn't just about privacy. It's this chilling insight into how personal wellness tech, things initially designed to help, can be sort of incrementally repurposed to exploit our most intimate data, often through consent forms we don't fully scrutinize.
So that revelation about DreamSaver is deeply unsettling. This DreamSaver device, it's crucial to her situation. It's a neuroprosthetic, basically, a device that interfaces with your nervous system.
Yeah.
Initially designed to treat sleep apnea.
Okay, so medical origins.
Right. But then it was later developed by this guy, Eric Hollins, of DreamSaver Inc., to provide deeper, more efficient sleep by extending REM cycles.
Performance enhancement almost.
Sort of. Sarah's husband, Elias, uses one, and Sarah herself got one to cope with severe sleep deprivation after their twins were born.
So, understandable reasons.
Totally. It was marketed as a benefit, convenience for better health, better productivity. And now it's been weaponized, turning the very sanctuary of sleep into a surveillance zone.
And despite having absolutely no criminal record, Sarah is swiftly detained, 21 days, at a place called Madison.
And they don't call it a prison?
No, it's a public safety center or a retention facility run by private corporation, SafeX Inc.
A private company running it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and this facility is located in Ellis, a town known for its 23rder community, which is a detail that immediately suggests this deeper layer of social marginalization.
Yeah. It hints that these systems probably disproportionately impact certain groups in this future society. Shows who really bears the brunt of such pervasive control.
Exactly. It's a chilling example of how easily personal convenience, even just wanting better health, can be transformed into a mechanism of control and detention.
It's insidious, isn't it? How the facility maintains this illusion of freedom, even as every aspect of life is meticulously tracked.
Very.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, Madison exemplifies a system that, in its relentless pursuit of safety, ultimately strips individuals of autonomy and privacy. It's a place where every aspect of life is controlled, from personal possessions to, well, even your thoughts and expressions.
Absolutely. Retainees face strict rules. No cell phones, no loud noises, no excess property, regular neuroprosthetic scans. Sarah's daily routine is just this monotonous cycle. Device checks, eating gray and gritty oatmeal, and working shifts labeling movie clips for generative AI software.
Oh, the irony.
Right. It's almost cruel. Considering this very AI is likely what powers the predictive algorithms that put her there, she's forced to feed the beast that imprisoned her.
Wow.
And the unsettling absence of traditional prison markers, no towering watchtowers, no clanging steel doors, it belies the pervasive control.
So what is there instead?
Instead, neuroprosthetics track location and cameras equipped with Guardian emotion tracking software monitor everything. It's this subtle, constant surveillance that becomes incredibly invasive, creating a constant psychological pressure.
This invisible cage. It extends to the legal process itself, doesn't it?
Right.
Sarah's lawyer, Adam Abdo, acknowledges that the algorithm converting raw data into criminal predictions remains a black box.
Right, a black box. You can't challenge its internal workings, only the input data.
Which seems almost impossible. How do you even prove the input was wrong or incomplete?
Exactly. The real insight here is that when the method of accusation is opaque, its logic unknowable, true justice becomes impossible. It shifts the burden from proving innocence to somehow proving the algorithm's fallibility.
Which, by design, is meant to be unquestionable.
Precisely.
This raises that important question.
Yeah.
Who defines what's dangerous when the very definition of crime itself is constantly shifting?
Yeah, Sarah acutely realizes that in this world, quote, crime is relative, its boundary shifting in service of the people in power.
Like how?
Well, the novel mentions adultery and miscegenation were once crimes, for example, but now they're not. Conversely, things like burning flags or collecting rainwater are forbidden.
Collecting rainwater.
Yeah. It just illustrates how easily power can manipulate the rules to serve its own ends, turning ordinary behavior into a potential threat and eroding any stable sense of individual liberty or societal norms.
It's a powerful cautionary tale about how fear can be weaponized to reshape our legal and moral landscape.
Definitely.
So as Sarah spends more time in Madison, she sees the system's crushing impact on her and others. But she also finds unexpected connections and maybe sparks of defiance.
Yes, both.
Her relationship with her husband, Elias, for instance,
Yeah.
it becomes deeply strained.
He starts making decisions without her, even forgets her birthday.
Ouch.
Most shockingly, he blames her for her retention, suggesting she should have just followed the rules.
Wow. Blaming the victim.
Completely. His communication becomes infrequent, leaving Sarah worried he's moving on. It's a truly heartbreaking betrayal. It underscores how these systems don't just detain individuals, but fracture their entire support networks, erode trust within the most intimate relationships.
And the stories of her fellow retainees.
Yeah.
They really drive home the human toll, the arbitrary nature of this predictive justice.
They really do. There's Toya Jones, denied release due to old emails, gambling debts, and a dream she had about burning her house for insurance after being stressed by fire claims.
A dream again?
Yep. Or Marcella, detained due to a restraining order after reporting an unlicensed daycare. She eventually gets a petition for her guitar approved, a small, poignant victory in this suffocating system.
A tiny bit of humanity.
Right. Then there's Lucy Everett. Initially seems like a nice old lady, but Marcella discovers she's actually a scammer involved in a civil suit. And later it's revealed she had pedo dreams mentioned at her hearing before she was released.
Okay, that's deeply disturbing. And again, using dreams as evidence.
Exactly. It highlights the RA's reliance on incredibly questionable and deeply unsettling evidence, blurring the lines between thought and action, intent and reality.
And we can't forget Emily, Sarah's roommate, a firefighter with a criminal record. She expresses her defiance by writing a comic about a pyromaniac mutant.
Yeah, a fascinating act of creative expression and subversion within confinement.
Definitely. Or Isley Richardson, the fitness trainer.
Yeah.
She initially believes firmly in the system's fairness.
Right, she's a true believer at first.
But after her own release, she sends Sarah money for commissary, maybe out of survivor's guilt.
Perhaps. These individual stories, they paint such a vivid picture of the system's reach, revealing how it ensnares people from all walks of life, often for the most tenuous reasons, and the complex psychological effects it has on everyone involved.
But then the system's true. Chilling depths are revealed. Sarah uncovers this huge aha moment.
This is a big one.
Julie Renstrom, a former retainee who was supposedly released. She's actually a social psychologist working for Dreamsaver Inc. Undercover, conducting a product placement study at Madison, observing retainee behavior for the company's future Dream Social product.
Can you believe that? It fundamentally shifts our understanding of the system's deeper manipulation.
It really does.
It reveals this terrifying nexus between corporate interests and state surveillance, where even the raw, unfiltered data of human dreams aren't just for pre-crime detection, but are being commodified for future social networking, turning our subconscious into a profitable frontier.
Wow. That revelation about Julie Renstrom being undercover, it just changes everything, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
But despite all of this, these seeds of resistance begin to sprout. Sarah, along with Emily and Victoria, who secretly vandalized the surveillance cameras on their floor during an evacuation.
A risky move.
Very. They start organizing a strike, urging other retainees to stop working to cripple SafeX operations, understanding that collective action is their only leverage.
Power in numbers.
They also try to make masks during a wildfire evacuation using sheets, and Sarah even starts working on a collaborative zine to combat boredom and foster connection among the women.
These aren't grand, heroic gestures in the traditional sense, perhaps.
No.
But they're powerful acts of defiance, demonstrating that even in the most controlled, dehumanizing environments, the human spirit finds ways to push back, to connect, and to assert its autonomy.
Which brings us to this question. Can one truly be free when the system has such a profound influence on every aspect of existence, even after physical release?
That's the core question, isn't it?
Sarah's theme is hearing. Named after the Greek goddess of divine law and justice, ironically.
Yeah, the irony.
Designed for expedited assessments. It perfectly encapsulates this bitter conditional freedom.
It really does. She's accused of being a murderer based on her R785 risk score, her dream data, past arguments with Elias, even her perceived resentment over family decisions, and her cousin Zach's arrest record.
They're pulling from everywhere.
Everywhere. They even dig into her childhood, referencing a traumatic incident involving her brother's death and a long-standing tension with her father, whose silence seemed to blame her. It's a Kafkaesque nightmare where your entire life, reinterpreted through this punitive lens, becomes evidence against you.
Imagine having to grapple with proving your innocence against algorithmic predictions, dream interpretations, especially when no actual crime has been committed.
How do you fight a prediction?
Exactly. Sarah realizes that simply being an outlier, unpredictable, and therefore unprofitable to the data merchants, is seen as a dangerous trait in itself. It's a world where your potential to deviate from a predicted path is itself a mark against you. A profound commentary on how society can fear individuality, unpredictability, in the face of absolute control.
The psychological toll of that constant fight trying to prove an unprovable innocence must be immense.
Absolutely.
Ultimately, Sarah is released, but it's a conditional freedom with strings attached.
What kind of strings?
She must leave behind her friends from Madison, avoid inappropriate associations to maintain her good standing.
Wow. So isolate her again.
Essentially, even after returning home, Sarah experiences this phantom detention. Hearing the attendants' voices, feeling the constant surveillance, the invisible bars of the facility still enclosing her.
That's haunting.
And her father and husband, they're reluctant to discuss her retention. They just hope to put it behind them, resume normal life. But for Sarah, the experience has fundamentally changed her. The rules, the system, they've become an inescapable part of her internal landscape, a constant reminder that her freedom is always under review.
Sarah's story leaves us with so much to consider. Her journey from, unwitting data point to reluctant resistor. It highlights the immense, often invisible power of algorithms and the unexpected ways our lives can be scrutinized and controlled. The intimacy of our thoughts, our desires, our deepest anxieties, all reduced to data points, then used to predict and even punish. It makes you wonder, if an algorithm decided your fate, would you even trust your own memories of innocence anymore?
That's a heavy thought. And the commodification of something as intimate as dreams, first for pre-crime detection, and then for a product like Dream Social, allowing people to share their dreams.
Share their dreams, wow.
Yeah, it presents the stark vision of technology's double-edged sword. It's about how deeply corporations and government entities can intertwine, blurring the lines of what is private, what is public, and what is truly free.
Right.
Sarah realizes that isolation is the opposite of salvation, and that her release, in part, is owed to the women who joined her in resistance. It reminds us of the enduring power of human connection, even against overwhelming systems.
She still wants to help her friends, cut ties with OmniCloud, this ubiquitous data storage that holds her entire digital past, and just live authentically, carving out a space for genuine freedom.
But the road ahead for her, and perhaps for us, is largely uncharted.
So what stands out to you most about Sarah's story? How much of our own data are we maybe unknowingly giving away through smart devices, social media, even wellness tech? And what could that mean for our future, for our own sense of self and freedom?